Well, hello YouTube. This is a first time for me. Let me move the camera. I'm not used to being in landscape on a live. And I'm not used to being live here on YouTube, which is quite exciting. I just thought I'd do this and see what the outcome was. I'm not expecting anybody to be here. My followers are on different platforms and not as much as, let me get my words straight, more on other platforms and not as much here. But nevertheless, I thought this was worth a try to see what the outcome was and just to say hello to anybody that may be a follower here but not on the other platforms. So many of you that are followers here that are not on the other platforms will only know me from my YouTube tutorials, and I am a real person and I'm here and I am live. Oh, I can see people jumping on already. That's exciting. 5 people watching. I wasn't expecting that. I just thought it'd be like a bit of a pre-record. Hello Shaz. Hi. This is really strange. It's really interesting to see who comes up, see if I recognise anybody from the other platforms. I'm having a lazy day at home, trying to do a bit of housework because I've been painting. If some of you see my most recent tutorial on YouTube, you will see that I was painting in the kitchen, so I've had a lot of cleaning up to do over the last few days. Mr. M doesn't really like me painting in the house, but that's how many painters paint. They paint in the kitchens, their garages, driveways, you name it, they paint. Oh, hello from Greece. Thank you for all of the amazing, thank you. Hello Greece. I absolutely love Greece. It's it's where my heart lies, in Greece. I don't know why, it's just, I feel this strong connection to Greece, and I really love it there. I really do love it there. So the premise of me coming on today was just to talk about the new tutorial. I have got part of that tutorial. If you've not seen it, there's one part here. Let me grab this. It's Annie Sloan decoupage paper, and this is one part of the project. I decided to do myself this pot for the kitchen because the colours were so good in my kitchen. And that was part of the decoupage project, but I did do a bigger piece of furniture, a bedside cabinet. And here's the actual packaging. That's kind of what I've used. If you've not seen it already, it's up now, go and look for it. But I thought I'd show you close up here some of the other papers that I've got that Annie sent me really kindly. This is a PR product she sent me. This is lovely with birds. These are all kind of my vibes. Butterflies. So that's beautiful, isn't it? Butterflies. I thought it was odd seeing you on here. It is odd, isn't it? It's really odd for me. I almost felt a little bit nervous coming on to do it because it's not an interface that I'm used to doing a live in. So this one is, I've seen a lot of people use these too, so that's why I went with something that that I haven't seen people use, and I really love the colours, the soft colours of the mint. That's another one. These patterns are absolutely stunning. They really are stunning. Let me show you inside. There's a few more, look, more patterns. I'll show you the paper on the inside, just briefly. If nobody's seen it, I've opened this one. Annie's been really generous with these. You get 2. They're not quite an A1, a little bit smaller than an A1, but nevertheless, there's still quite a lot for a big project. So they're quite big, as you can see. But I want to talk through the actual product and what it's like. So initially, this paper it's very thin. One side of it is kind of matte, the other side's quite shiny. I've used papers like this before that have got a shiny front cover to them. They are a good size, Shaz. And I must admit, on my tutorial, if you do watch it, you will see that it kind of plexed me somewhere in the middle when I started using the method that I like to use over decoupage paper. And the reason that I went that route was because I've used other papers, other brands of paper with this sort of shiny finish to the surface. And usually it's not very penetrable, if that makes sense. Whatever medium you're using, the decoupage medium, glue, PVA, whatever you're using to stick this down. And in my case, I was using Annie Sloan lacquer which I really like as a substrate to glue down with. I was expecting this not to be as penetrable, but it is. It's very much like, once it gets saturated in the gluing medium, it becomes really precarious. So it's a little bit like, if you've ever done napkin decoupage, it's much more like that, and that's the way I started. So it's very familiar to me, but I wasn't expecting that with this paper. It's not a bad thing, it's just I wasn't expecting it. I kind of preconceived the idea of the product and what it was going to do. So I wanted to kind of come on here, explain that through a little bit. I think I do in the video tutorial. I think I explained that through. I was originally, the ones that are not penetrable, I kind of use my atomizer on the back and then stick it down. I wouldn't do it because it just becomes quite soggy, and you don't want it to be too soggy. You need it to get down and stuck. So that's all I wanted to jump on and explain regarding the material. It is beautiful and the patterns are gorgeous. So please go and find them, find your local stockist and grab some of these gorgeous papers. They are absolutely stunning and most definitely my kind of style. So they were easy to work with in colour palette because I think Annie's married in all of her paint colours to the decoupage papers. But yes, just be aware that every single decoupage paper is different. They're all very different. They're made up of different materials. If you're a newbie to decoupage, try and find a rice paper. I think they're the most resilient out there, so you can peel and stick, peel and stick, peel and stick. If you're a little bit worried about that, always give yourself a trial run. I was just on a Zoom call with some painters earlier on, and one of the ladies said to me that she's got a piece to do with an aperture that she's going to be working to on the side of a cabinet, which means that you can pre-cut the shape that you're going to go to. And she said she was going to use the offcuts ahead of time as her practice run. So I think always with these new products, give yourself some practice time. Take a board, give it a go before going on to your main piece. I just went for it, and it was a small piece that I was working on, and if it had not turned out, and it did, it turned out beautifully, and I think you can probably see that in the video. There's a real lovely sheen, and I do put that down to the way that this paper went down, and it kind of went down a little bit lumpy bumpy, but as soon as it had dried out, it kind of really stretched beautifully. So seamless, absolutely seamless. So do give it a try. Other than that, I haven't got much more to say really. I just wanted to share my experience with the paper. It is beautiful, but again, very different. So head over to all of the different, I would say if you're one of my followers, just watch all of the videos because you'll get a nuance of how I do things, and you might take little elements from each video to the way that you do things. That's all about learning. That's how I learn. I'm a visual learner like you guys, and I take little elements of ideas. Thank you. The jumper, it was the first thing I grabbed. It was really cold this morning and it's a bit Christmassy, although I have got my Christmas mug. There's my Christmas mug. The decorations are up. I'm not ready for Christmas at all. So yeah, use little elements of anyone, and you know, obviously I'd like to think I give good detail in my videos, but obviously search around. There's so much on YouTube. There is so many different types of ways of doing things. It's how I do. I take all different elements and make them my own. So as much information as you can absorb, and then you'll find your own way of doing it. And that's the beauty of how to learn visually. Anything else to say? I don't think I've got anything else to say. What I might do is, because now I've done a live here and I can see people have come on and gone, and I'm going to kind of store it to the other videos anyway, and people can find this as a live. I may do a tour of the house downstairs of the Christmas decorations, because we are all festooned and it does look rather lovely. So I may do a tour when the house is square. There's a load of dishes on the draining board in the kitchen and I feel a bit embarrassed, so I would show you that, but I'm not going to. I'm relatively tidy here. So I may do you a bit of a tour before Christmas. I am going to be slowing down some of my tutorials just over Christmas time. I need to take some time for myself and Mr. M, but I will be straight back on it. I love what I do. It really helps me with a lot of the emotional stuff, so I'll be here. I might do a few more talks. Just let me know if there's anything that anybody wants me to do. Just message me or message in here, because I will pick up all of the messages. If there's anything that anyone fancies me doing, I'm quite happy to do a bit of a Q&A. I say Q&A, I might need Mr. M to help me because I'm not so good at reading all of your questions. Many of you will know I'm dyslexic, but he can come in and help me. Been a tough year. It has been, Shaz, it's been a really, really tough year for me in lots of ways. Tough 2 years. So obviously COVID for everyone, massively tough. You know, we've all really felt that brunt, but I've always had creativity to step towards and help me. But I have been looking for the last year, definitely the last year or so. I lost mum in July, just a few days after my birthday. I took her into a care home on my birthday, not a care home, it was a hospice, because it was increasingly harder and blow me down. The day she went in, she actually got COVID, which separated us, and I had to fight hard to be with her, and it was really tough. So, you know, I'm one of those statistics that it was tough for at the end due to COVID. But we, you know, mum slipped away peacefully, and saying goodbye was really tough. So yes, I've had a tough year. I've got 1 or 2 things coming up in the future that was done during that tough time. It was done during mum not being so well. So my creative stuff, although I came away from it all, I was actually still being creative, and they're going to be showcased pretty soon, maybe sort of after Christmas, January, February time, which I think will really help me again to see that, you know, the painful time I produced some really lovely things that nobody's seen yet, and that's going to come forward, and it's actually a product. It's actually something that you guys can actually tangibly buy and use, which I'm really proud of. So there's a couple of different things. It's not paint. I'm not bringing out paint. I love Annie's Home Chalk paint. It's just things that will sit really beautifully with Annie's paint. So and all things chalk paint. So I'm really proud of that, and I'm looking forward to seeing that come, and it'll honour my mum. I'm talking too much outside. I always do this. I talk quite a lot, but it's been quite nice to jump on here. So look out for that. What can I say? A lot of people have been asking me on other platforms, take time for yourself. I am going to, over Christmas, me and Mr. M are going to have some time together. But like I said, I do need, morning Jonathan, at least it's here out in, oh, can't see that's gone. Don't know where there we go, that's how it works. Out here in Canada. I presume the papers you're talking about, are they out in Canada? Endeavour to stay here. I know from some of my posts how emotive people paint emotively and when they're struggling, and I have. And I'm really aware of that. As the world changes, it certainly has changed. And even I struggle with some of the social media things that we have to deal with, you know, giving this stuff. There's always a reverse to the other side of this. And I fight forward because I kind of love the reactions that come back from you, because it's so positive and everyone's really grateful for whatever I give. But to be honest, without you guys, I probably wouldn't have stuck around to do it. It's really tough. And you know, that whole social media, looking sideways at what other people are doing, it kind of makes you feel a little bit inferior sometimes. And I've struggled that. So on top of all of the other things, anyway, I'm not going to talk on about that. Maybe that's something that we could talk about in another live here. You know, I think it really is important to discuss those things. I think I can hear somebody creeping around in my kitchen. I think Mr. M is actually home from work and he's crept in. I can hear somebody. I'm either being burgled right now or Mr. M. Hello? he's gone upstairs. I'm either being burgled right now, live on camera, or Mr. M has arrived home from work. Anyway, I'm going to tune out. Thank you for the people that were here and stayed with me right the way through. That's really kind of you. Let me just check if there's any more comments. Hi from isolated South Africa. Love your tutor. Much love, South Africa. Another place I've been and loved, and the support there was amazing. So sorry about isolation. I don't know whether we'll be back in isolation after Christmas. I hope not. Who knows? Strange old world. We'll have each other to keep ourselves company, and we'll have creativity online, I'm sure. Anyway, much love. I'm going to tune out. I've got to find how to say goodbye on here. I think there's a little button there that I can say goodbye. But thank you for joining me on this live. And like I say, if there's anything you would like me to do that's more personal this way, just put it in the comments if you're watching this on replay. Anyhow, much love. I will see you all very soon. Take care.